What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo. In today's video, we are diving into an episode of McFly diving into the song Transylvania. I think it's where they break it down and talk about it. I'm super excited to do this. As somebody who is just a huge fan of music, seeing the process is one of my favorite things. So I'm hyped on this. Before we get into today's video, I just want to give a huge shout out to Ellie over on Patreon. Thank you so much for your very long-term support. At the same time, I appreciate you sending this over for your request. It means the world to me. So with all those things out of the way, I'm excited to dive in and see what exactly they're going to do with Transylvania, story of the song.
Everyone says that that song is so weird. Is it really? Like, I take that really personally.
Maybe a little weird, but in a cool way.
I remember doing a lot of demoing for that album. We demoed stuff in our flat, so we'd moved from a house to this kind of flat where there was a spare room where we had a studio in it. I remember demoing
That's so
Transylvania.
sick.
I did the silly voice that goes into the first chorus, and it was this it's a really quirky song, like quite a weird song, but it's got great hooks in it.
This was writing for our third album. I think we just felt like on the second one we maybe tried to grow up a bit prematurely, and it was all a bit dark and serious, and we wanted to be more colourful.
Talk about the perfect song to represent that, right? Love his voice in this.
Transylvania started in my bedroom, so I imagined that I was watching a play and it's like set in medieval.
Oh, I didn't realize he wrote it
times.
or came up with
And
it.
there's this lower class stable boy, and he falls in love with a princess. They absolutely adore each other, but there's no way that they can live in the kingdom together. So the king and queen lose their shit and try to get him killed. And he's pleading to the princess, run away with me.
Okay, what is it about kids that grow up in pop punk, emo adjacent things where we have this fascination with Romeo and Juliet or stories that are even kind of similar? I even think of Silverstein, the band. They have a song called Your Sword Versus My Dagger, which is straight up Romeo and Juliet. I love this kind of obsession and fantasy land about it. It's very I didn't realize how real that was until Dougie's doing it right now.
I know of a place where these laws and society is completely different, and we can just be ourselves. So the verses are all narrated. The dumpa-dumpa-dumpa-ders are supposed to be the gang vocals of the guards. People marching to the drums bit is the guy singing, talking about this other world, or this other place where they could live. The Who's Your Lover bit is the princess's maids.
What?
Trying to get information.
There's a whole cast.
For someone who hates musicals, I think I wrote a musical.
When you get
I never would have pinned Dougie to not like musicals, considering McFly has a bit of a musical influence in their music because of Tom. But then I say that, but then Dougie put together this, and there's an entire cast in this song. I never would have guessed that. Never would have even considered it. Sometimes you just bob along to the song, not considering how many characters are existing.
Imagination road. They go down a very long path with it. They go with it. Sometimes to the point where I'm like, guys, I'm lost. I'll leave you to it.
So there it is.
Oh my gosh, young Tom. Yeah.
We were really into this band called Jellyfish at the time, particularly this album they've got called Spilt Milk. They literally just go absolutely nuts, and it's anything goes.
It was like all of my favourite bands smushed into one. It was like Queen meets the Beach Boys meets the Beatles, and it just became everything I thought McFly should be. Because it was pop, but it was kind of quirky, weird pop. And
him talking about that while also seeing these scenes too. I don't know how many of you guys listen to the band Panic at the Disco, but it's interesting because the way they just describe Jellyfish in kind of a way that McFly's music sounds in a lot of ways, you also hear that later in music when Panic at the Disco comes out, and they also do like a very similar thing where there was like no rules. It was very like whimsical while having an emo and like pop punk sort of like vibe to it. There was so much more going on there that had a Queen element to it and stuff. So super cool.
Quirky, weird pop. And I remember playing it to Dougie.
Yeah, opened our minds a bit to like, rad, if something sounds cool, it doesn't really matter if it fits into a genre, just kind of go with it. So the boom,
clock it,
yeah,
yes.
cool. Let's be theatrical with it.
I think Harry went on holiday, and while he was away, we kind of came up with a plan, this weird, bizarre plan for what the band should be. And he got back, and we were like, we've got these songs, listen to this is Transylvania.
Hold on, the Newfound Glory shirt.
Should be. And he got back, and we were like, we've got these songs, listen to this.
The Newfound Glory shirt. Oh my God, that's incredible. I had the Zero shirt also.
This is Transylvania. I had this weird like vision for what the album should be, but it was a real like, it suddenly gave us this like real kind of energy and momentum for like, okay, let's forget Wonderland, we're moving on, and we have a clear sonic vision for what the band needs to sound like.
This is the studio. This is so sick. It's like a castle. Oh my God.
We were going to
Musicians
work with
really
this guy,
do get
Jason
to do
Perry.
it all, don't they?
Jason was the complete opposite to any other producer that we'd worked with. But like working with Hugh, I was always like on good behavior. I'd get there on time. He wanted me to have like an early night sleep before vocal days, not eat any chocolate or dairy, in case it affects your voice. And Jason was like the opposite.
Harry, should we do this? Listen, we'll say yes. Yeah. See? Oh, let's go! That's how you make records.
Jason Perry is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, me and my friend Julian Emery, we co-produced that together, Motion in the Ocean. And Transylvania was one of the kind of key songs on there. Bit of a weird song as well.
Is it really?
I was really into a band called Jellyfish when I was younger, and I got the band into it. So you can hear that influence on...
You see, that's a good producer right there, right? Somebody who like, man, I kind of get this vibe from you guys. And also like, hey, you guys should check out this band, or like, hey, what if we tried this? I think like sometimes people forget that like the producer, it can sometimes be an equal part of that band when it comes to the recording process or trying to come up with those songs and stuff. It's just, that's why like you can find some producers and then check out pretty much everything that they've worked on and it all sounds wonderful. And you're like, holy shit, you have a gift.
Transylvania. That's what Motion in the Ocean was kind of really inspired by, was let's be Jellyfish for a month. So we did.
But I do remember doing the solo. That was a lot of fun to write. First time I've really sat down for hours and hours and worked on a guitar solo, and it was good fun. Because normally I just play it and vibe it.
Yeah. Oh, the harmonies.
Main thing for me with Transylvania was I really wanted Dougie to sing on it, because I love Doug's voice. I think Doug's one of the best voices.
I fucking agree. I wish he would.
It was like the first.
I just wish he would do like a whole pop punk thing, just like a whole thing, just like go all the way in with it, please.
Song that Dougie had kind of wrote most of it, and then he sung on the chorus, and then it was a single. So it was I think it was quite a big moment for Dougie. It was probably the first time like his songwriting really was at the forefront of what we were doing.
This is what I find so special about McFly, is that we don't have these egos where like, I'm the main writer, I'm this, I'm that. If something's good, we all jump on it. That's what's amazing. That's what's so
love that so much about this
band. This is one of
band.
those moments where it's like, this is a great song.
It comes through in everything they do. It's so creative
it's fun
because
to play.
of that.
Don't matter who wrote it, who came up with the idea, whatever it is, it's brilliant.
Yup. In this outfit with this bass too, so low. He's so pop punk.
My main memory that is seeing Dougie playing the church organ at the Albert Hall. So every time I hear that song, I think I can't get past that. Doug trying to walk up to the organ to play it, thinking this is going to go really wrong.
Jamie, when do you think I might be able to play the Royal Albert Hall's organ? It's a very good question.
The organ at the Royal Albert Hall is like 100 years old. It's like the original one that was put there when they built the thing. And there's a special key to unlock it that's
Holy
like in a
shit.
box in a safe.
That's intense.
I can't believe they let me play that instrument.
Yeah, I'd be terrified.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
We're gonna lose a little bit lower.
Yeah, when we did our 10th anniversary, we got there and we're like, that is a massive organ. And we have like the quintessential organ intro.
They play it
This
as
is a massive wasted opportunity if Dougie doesn't play that live.
Hyping it up is amazing.
That was terrifying. You know what? Playing the organ, like an instrument that big, is like driving a tank on ice.
Oh yeah, you can't mess up. I'm so hyped about this right now.
The band,
That is
I remember
iconic.
it, always wanted it to be a single. You had to have radio on board, and we were nervous because it was a different sound, and it's like it wasn't your typical pop record.
I think the label needed a bit of convincing. Like, radio didn't play it. Radio didn't want to do it. There was a bit of a panic because I think at the time, like, Radio 1 had really supported McFly and they'd played all our songs, and then suddenly they heard Transylvania and they were like, is this a joke?
What year did the song come out?
I remember us being like, yeah, but, you know, what did radio know? Radio didn't play the best songs of all time. I don't know. Something like that. Being completely cocky and arrogant.
We felt quite confident about being experimental with that video because we knew the power of the McFly video, and actually we'd learnt from things like the Obviously video that actually the more narrative and kind of entertaining that our videos were, the kind of more popular they tended to be.
The video was a lot of fun. We were on, I feel like we were on a bit of a roll at the time of making like fun videos. I mean, I don't even know really what's going on in that. I think I tried to explain to the director what the song was about, and that was his interpretation.
Well, I guess, you know, when we sent out to directors for video treatments, when they put that song on, God knows what imagery that conjures up.
It's amazing though.
Okay, yeah, we might have dressed up as weird, Victorian women or something like that in the video. Cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Just whatever, it's, you know, we're in a band. Let's do it.
I really love the video because it's not like a generic pop video. It's a bit weird. You
It
know,
is
and I like
wild.
It when we get a bit weird sometimes. So, you know,
They
looking
pull
back,
off
that's
the
one of my
look really
favourite
well, though.
singles, definitely for me.
It's just a cool song, isn't it? It's got loads of personality. I think that's what McFly fans back then wanted, was personality from the different band members. And I think that's the key to McFly, really, is getting each kind of band member on record, really, their personality.
I think I've said this the whole time I've been reacting to them from the very beginning. One of the things I said that drawed me into them was that they didn't take themselves too seriously. And I think that goes right back to that ego thing, that thing where no one in the band thinks that they're the main person and therefore they're able to have the sort of creative, you know, flow that they do. That is all down to their personalities as well when I say that, because when you watch their videos, when you watch their interviews, listen to their music, you watch their live show, they are all so loud up there. Like they're all so quirky. Everybody's kind of like got something going on. They all stand out as their own person. And I think that like when all of that is coming to life, you feel the energy of McFly. So I second, he got it. This producer's great.
We didn't want to be dictated to by what was going to be, by what was popular, because we never were right from the beginning. No one was playing songs like Five Colours in a Hair, just like no one was ever going to play Transylvania on the radio. But we knew it, I don't know, it made us happy, it made us laugh, and that was the kind of band we wanted to be. Not that we were a joke band, we took it seriously, but, you know, we weren't taking ourselves seriously. And I think that's why.
I'm really not sure how the director got that out of the
like
concept of them explaining it to them, but
everyone went nuts for it. Still goes nuts for it at the shows.
Every time I see more of the pictures, I'm like, this doesn't seem like what Dougie was talking about when he wrote it.
I mean, that makes me believe that what we believe in is right, because sometimes you can play the game of like, to be a successful band, you need to be commercial. To keep it going, you need to be so commercial. To make a living out of it, it needs to appeal to the masses. But what we like are these type of songs, and what we like is what our fans like.
Yeah.
Like we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But it just, you know, it's nice to know that we're aligned with our fans like that, because we do like the same stuff.
Yeah, because it's not conventional. And it was also like one of these ones I remember getting like messages from random people in America, or seeing like articles written about us in America, being like, you got to check out this weird song.
I feel like that is like quintessential McFly, where you're just like, what? What is that band doing?
But also, why do I like it?
Kind of sums us up.
But yeah, I actually agree with the general public now that it's a weird song.
After all that, it's got Rocky Horror Picture vibes in a lot of the ways. I can't help but feel like the director just like heard Transylvania, immediately thought Rocky Horror, and then tried to find a way to like mix part of that into it. But I'm here for it either way. Even when you do hear the original concept, it is kind of strange to just like see the vampire, but it also makes sense. Transylvania, it's a place we can get away to where we're just sort of, we can be free and be who we want to be, and no one's going to judge us. So I guess there is kind of a Rocky Horror Picture element to that as well, right? Either way, it's so interesting to hear just kind of like not only the concept of like building the song and kind of like what goes into it, but also the sort of like viewpoints and interpretations that the band has about everything. Like even just hearing them say, hey, you know, we pitched this, you know, what the song was about, and this is what the video came out as, and we didn't really know, but it was weird, and it kind of worked because the song's weird and everything's just kind of weird. What I think is really cool is that they actually made the point to bring out the fact that even though radio wasn't picking this song up, even though, you know, maybe it wasn't going to be this big commercial success, McFly figured out that their fan base would be into it, because they're into kind of whatever the band's into. And that's still true to this day. I sit up here every time I talk about McFly and I talk about how this band is underrated, how it's a bummer that they don't play in America. It's a bummer that they don't have a bigger fan base. But then I also realize that this band has figured out how to make their fan base in a sense that they have this community built that is, and I'm, you know, very lucky to even like interact with some of the fans that are part of like the really like, you know, very big fan bases. And it's so cool to me to see the passion for this band, despite the fact, although I would say that this band is commercially successful, they've all, you know, been very successful. A huge part of that is the fact that the fans continue to support everything that they do time and time again. Every time this band, you know, announces a show, there it is, sold out, boom. Like everybody wants to see McFly. And I think it is so cool to be able to build a community around that, to the point that you can release whatever you're feeling like releasing, because you know that the fans just want to hear your vibe. It's not about commercial success all the time. I think people look at that so hard. People, you know, want to go for the money and the fame and the success and all that things. And that makes sense because it's all things that are available to you once you start like progressing in the music industry. But it's also really important to remember that like the reasons that you get into those things are not for the money and the fame. If it is, that those things are going to come and go. What is it that you can do that is creative, that it makes you feel like your heart is free and full? And at the same time, there are people there that want to accept it and want to, you know, help you flourish and sort of like be so successful in that on your own. And that's what McFly's fan base does for them. they get to be quirky. They get to be who they want with no ego because they have a supportive fan base that doesn't care if they're commercially successful or not. Yes, we all want to see McFly commercially successful. I personally want to see them live, but I also understand that there's so much more to all of this than that. And they figured it out. So I love that for them. They also continue to inspire me, and I love that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Instagram at Steven in Stereo. I love y'all. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.